Let's see here. Somebody was asking about a shipping container solar atom. Um, yeah, I thought about it. The only thing is they're so narrow, you know. And I know you can cut out walls and cut out sections to make them wide and butt two up against each other. But I think what I'm going to do with the shipping container is just more of a place for storage. Because I've got some ideas. My younger brother has a building company in Nashville, and I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, I have all these insane building supplies. He's like, do you want it to build a place out there? I was like, yeah, man, I'll take it. And so we're thinking that what I'm going to do is facing the west here. If we look this way, this is my view looking west, and like really nice views looking towards like mountains and stuff like that. And then I've got my garden area right here that looks this way. And so what I'm considering doing is he's got these commercial grade windows, and they're really incredible. They're half-inch thick glass, and they're load bearing, so you can make walls out of them. And they're 13 feet tall by 8 feet wide. And he's got, let's see, I think he's got 8 of them. Or maybe 9. But what we were talking about yesterday is going and getting some really big pine posts, because we got those ponderosa pines up in Flagstaff. So you can get these big old wood beams and make like a frame, and then put those up as walls and have all windows looking towards the west. And the R value of that half-inch glass is really high, so the heat won't come through as much as it would if you had normal windows. And then you can put up curtains and shades and all that stuff too during the summertime. But do it to where you kind of are almost like living outdoors, like the floor to ceiling windows, at least for the entire views looking to the west. And then be able to build it pretty fast. It'd be something that's small, it wouldn't be big. He was saying like, oh, would you be comfortable in 900 square feet? I'm like, dude, that would be Taj Mahal for me, because I'm used to living in that little camper right there. And 900 square feet to me would be massive. But he's like, yeah, we could do a pad that's like 30 by 30, a concrete pad. And then once you put those the glass up, and it's a structural load bearing, frame around it. So that's your walls. And then you just put some stuff on top of it and then build your roof and you're good to go. And I think that'd be really neat, because with the views, I have 360-degree views around here. Like if we look this other way too, if we look towards the east here with this big ridge, if you've got like your views looking out from your property that are just like this the entire way around, I'd have to clear out some more trees, maybe a few more junipers, to really get encompass a 360-degree view. But then also, looking like this way and all that stuff. I mean, I'd love to have those. And the sun sets right over here. And so looking this way, if we look over here, the sun in the wintertime sets about right there. In the summertime, it sets in that saddle. And I think it'd be amazing to have it to where, I'm looking out on nature just nonstop. I mean, no one's around here, so no one, it doesn't matter if I have floor-to-ceiling windows of glass, no one would be able to see me. And so, just thinking about different stuff like that. And that's another reason why I'll be hitting the road, and I want to really think about it and think about what I could do out here. But it's nice. My brother offered to help out. He goes, dude, I could fly out there. We can knock that out in a weekend, because he does all the construction for all the big the big country music stars down in Nashville. What you doing over there, sweetie? We got Meadow right there. Look at her. She's awesome. She loves running around out here. But yeah, those windows I think would be really cool. And I'll put some pictures up on in the community section of where he's getting them out of, because what it is, hey, come here, sweetie. Let's get you a treat. Here she comes. Look at her running. What you got, sweetie? You want some treats? All right, let's come in here. It's starting to get some wind kicking up. He's got actually, let me hang on a sec. I'm gonna put this up here so I can get Meadow inside, and then I'll actually show you on my computer the windows that we're talking about and the walls. It's like amazing. So hang on one second here. Let me get Meadow in here. I'm gonna coax around with some peanut butter. There you go, sweetie. Yeah, shut the door here. And then I'm gonna bust out this so we can take a look at it. But one thing I would do is that, with the floor to ceiling windows, You can get those like metal grates that go above it, and you roll them down when you leave, and they lock into the ground. But that's what I do just to, you know, keep this place secure and all that stuff. But let me show you real quick. Let's see. There it is. So what it is my brother, he has a client that they got a commercial space, and it already had windows in it. And I don't know the whole backstory of it, but the windows are like this, like these. Well, let's see here. These massive load-bearing windows. They're like 13 feet tall. And he said, he goes, this is about $125,000 worth of commercial grade glass. And then you can take them out of there and package them up, because you can take them apart and put them on a trailer, and they're easy to transport. So one of the things I would do this summer is I'd road trip down to Tennessee to see my brother, and then I haven't seen him for years, so it'd be nice to see him. Road trip down there, and then pick that up, and then, you know, we'd be good to go. And he also said too, he's like, you know, I have all these building supplies as well, stuff like, you know, really neat sinks like this. And he's like, I have them, he goes, I got them just sitting around in my storage unit. You're welcome to have them. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'd love to have that stuff. That'd be awesome as a kitchen sink. You know, big old sink like that, which would be cool. And then he was telling me, he's like, you know, and then he's like, my roofing distributor for the type of roof that, there's this metal type of roof that rusts really fast, and the reason why it does it is it's designed to do that, and the rust seals in like everything to where. And then also he's got other stuff too, like, you know, different sort of ceiling fans, like these Craftsman. They're called Bellows 21-inch blade indoor outdoor fans. So you can put them on the indoors and outdoors. So you can put them like on an outdoor patio, and that'd be nice for when the weather, you know, out here starts to get a little warmer. You'd have some good airflow on both the inside and outside. And I'd have concrete floors throughout the whole thing, because I don't want to get carpet out here, especially with the amount of mud and dust and debris there is. And then with this little monster right here, you know, I want to make sure that she's not tracking in, you know, everything from the outdoors. And so having a concrete floor would be really easy to clean. And so it'd kind of be more of a, you know, minimalist space, but with some really cool, you know, faucets and like a cool sink for my kitchen. And hang on a second. Hey, you want to do this here? There you go, sweetie. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking is. It's always something with this girl. There you go. And so but my brother told me, he goes, I have enough supplies. He goes, I have everything that you need for the shower, including all the plumbing. You know, he goes, I have all the faucets. I've got everything. He goes, I have toilets. You know, because he's been doing construction for so long that a lot of these clients, they're really wealthy clients, and they a lot of times they'll order stuff and go, I don't like it, I'll just take it. And he's like, well, what do you want me to do with it? They're like, throw it out if you want. We don't want it. And so what he told me was, he's like, you're welcome to have it. He goes, because I'm just paying storage space for it right now, and I don't have a use for it, and I'd rather not have the expense. So I go down there with the big trailer and just pick everything up and then come back. So, but let's see here. Let me see here. So your open floor plan, Tim's. Yeah, so it's kind of an open floor plan. I'd have like a bathroom area sectioned off, and then I was thinking what I would do for the master bedroom is I'd just use really heavy commercial curtains, because I used to have a loft in downtown Denver back in the late 90s or early 2000s. Sorry, we got the monster plan. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and what I did for my rooms in there is I had like a living room area. It was an L-shaped loft that had like concrete floors. And here, look. Oh, why don't you play with this, baby girl? You want this? There's a treat for you. Oh, we got mud all over the place. And so what I would do is I would section everything off. I had these tracks on the roof, or not the roof, but the ceiling. And you just like pulled the curtains around, and they're real thick, so they're kind of soundproof as well. They're sound deadening, and they worked out great. And they also had insulation in them, so I had a floor to ceiling windows looking towards downtown Denver, because I was in a place called Riverfront Park. And I was there from 1998 to 2000, or no, from 2000 to 2003. And when I put those curtains up, I mean, I used to get a lot of cold, kind of, it wasn't air, but it was just coldness coming from those 40 slim windows. When I put those up and they had the insulation, the coldness was completely muted. And same with the heat, in the summertime, because I get blasted with early morning sun and I get super hot in my place. But then after I put those curtains up, there was no issue with it whatsoever. So I do something similar out here, and then you can use those as a section off, not only like your windows, but then different living areas. But then you can open it all up, and then you have a massive, open space, which is what I want. And I mean, I've lived simple for so long, I don't need much. Now I don't. It would basically be I'd want to have a really great wood stove in there for the wintertime, and then like a nice kitchen to make good food, and then maybe like an island, in the kitchen space or whatever, that could also double as like a table, so people could pull up bar stools and stuff like that and eat there and just kind of hang out. And then just have like a nice living area with some great places to sit that look towards the west with these killer views, and just call it good. And we were thinking about costs. My brother really is familiar with like, what it costs for foundations and for code and all that stuff. And he's like, dude, he goes, we could make your place incredible for about $20,000. And he's like, especially since I have all the materials, he goes, you wouldn't have any material costs. You basically just have your foundation cost for pouring concrete, and then your roofing cost, for getting that court and roofing. And he said that'll be the biggest expense because it is expensive. But with his distributor being out of Phoenix, he's like, we could just roll down there. They don't have to ship it, so you don't have to pay a shipping cost, and that would save money on it and stuff like that. So I'm really thankful for him because he's done amazingly well for himself. He built his company from nothing, and now he works with all the country music stars down there, and he's never done any marketing. And they call him for everything because he's had the same crew for like 15 years, and they go in and they don't, they're not like starstruck with anybody. They treat everybody like a normal human being. And he said he's like that. A lot of the clients will say like, we really appreciate the fact that you just treat us like normal people, because these are the biggest of the biggest country music stars. But it's so cool that he's been able to do that, and I'm so proud of my brother. He's a good dude. And for him to offer that up, I was like, thanks. He's like, well, you'd be saving me money by not having to pay for the ship or for the storage units. He goes, I've had them for years, and I don't want to keep paying on it. And I was like, all right, cool. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So that's the plan, for later this year. And then for the summertime, gosh, I've got Meadow playing behind me. Let me show you what's going on behind me here. So this is what's going on behind me. She's she's pushing up against my back and everything, and just going crazy. What are you doing there, girl? You getting excited for to go fly fishing soon? So that's why I want to kind of hit the road this summer and then get back here and get down to business. So